It's a rare condition this day and age to read any good news on a newspaper page. Especially when you taking that lady husband. Kill the music! Oh yes, bitches and hoes. I'm back.
I drop a player like it's nothing, it ain't working out. Now no debate or for discussion, bitch, I'm walking out. My time is money, I ain't loving, let you toast it out. Flip my weave and walk it out, look how I just bossed it out. Now come on baby, why you bugging, we can't talk it out. I keeps it moving, I ain't tripping, lost another spouse. I'm just a boss, it's in my blood, no I won't scream or shout. Grabbing my keys.
Cause oh yes, bitches and hoes, I'm back. Back with another video. We here to discuss Porsha Family Matters Season 1, Episode 1. Girl, let's get into it because this is just a messy situation. The episode opened up with the producer asking her, is there anything you want to set straight about your relationship? Girl, they start playing the flashbacks of her announcing this whole relationship. Dennis getting a doggone confessional and saying he a player. If that ain't a player, I don't know what it is. He was married to her. He was engaged to her before his marriage was over here. If that ain't a player, I don't know what is. Now, I ain't gonna lie. Let me give y'all some tea. I kind of did that before, but they didn't know. But I was legally still married when I was engaged to somebody else. That's my business. But I was just letting y'all know so I could tell y'all I relate. Anyway, so they start talking about how they met. Basically, Porsha claims that they met on social media, but you know the producer's messy, girl, because they showed her down there at the house by Fallon Gobadiah, whatever his last name is. I don't want to spell it wrong. But, you was down there at the house, girl, giving fist bumps, acting like you ain't know who he was. So we not about to act like that, Miss Porsha Williams. And I like me some Porsha, but I got to call you to the red carpet on this one, Porsha. I got to call you to the red carpet. She said, basically, she had no idea that the timeline was going to be such a big situation for the people out in the media. Well, yeah, girl, we just met Fallon. All I know is she was divorced and you was engaged in the same week. Yeah, we want to know how the hell that happened. That's normal. Like, you had to know that. You had to know that. You had to think about that when you started posting. So the family, everybody started putting their 2 cents in. Her sister Lauren was like, do I think she would intentionally marry someone who's, or date a married man? No. Everybody's giving their 2 cents. Shit, Dennis was like, I know her. She moved fast. She a rolling stone. She even did that. Whatever they said she did that shit. That's what I got from Dennis. Simon says it's too fast. Simon feels like anybody who feels like them being engaged was too fast is none of your goddamn business. I like Simon. Let me tell you why. Because Simon seems to me like he don't give a damn about none of that. Y'all got the problem, not me. We good, we rich, we living. Like, y'all figure that out in your own heads. But over here, we good. Simon has that type of attitude, but Porsha doesn't. Porsha has to worry about her image. Porsha wants to worry about what people think. And this is my thing. Once you posted this photo, because I saw it, I follow Porsha. When you posted this photo way back in the gap, it wasn't that long ago, because you know it don't take Porsha long. You had to know that your image was going to forever be tainted. Even if the ink was dry on Friday morning, you had to know something was going to come of this. So Porsha, I feel like you kind of brought it on yourself. Porsha goes on to explain that they got engaged on a Thursday. They thought the judge was going to sign the paperwork on a Friday morning. Well, turns out, girl, the judge hadn't signed the paperwork and she hadn't already posted this photo. So now you understand why we want to know what's the tea. Now, I don't want to know because I'm invested. I just want to know because I'm messy. Anybody who know me know I'm messy. That's the only reason I want to know. So they basically stayed engaged. And Simon says, look, all I'm worried about is staying engaged with my fiance. I don't care about none of that other stuff. Porsha said all she worried about is bending their family. Now, word on the curb, Simon got a whole bunch of churn, but we'll get there. Girl, so they riding down the street is in a nice Rolls Royce, girl. It looked like money. I ain't gonna lie. So they start to talk about how they met. She claims he DM'd her, and he says he DM'd, okay. She claims that he DM'd her first. And she said, if he say something else, let me know. That's how I knew she was lying. He goes, no, she DM'd me after we announced that we were getting divorced and asked me if I was okay. Basically, she checked on me. So I was like, well, Porsha went slithered in there to get that man before the ink dry on the paper. Okay. They're going out there to look at houses, but they're talking about how many cars he owns. He said he owns at least 5. She goes, well, where will the kids park their cars when they get older and they need somewhere to park their cars? He said, well, they're going to be out of my house. If you can afford a car, you can afford a crib. Okay? Talking talking about pushing forward. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't believe in kicking our black children out. But he had a point. That's all I'm going to say. She goes, Pilar ain't never going nowhere, girl. You better make sure, because that ain't what he's saying. He ain't budged when he said what he said. So they go look at a $2.2 million house. And they ask about the bedrooms because they got 6 kids. The girl, the realtor says, oh, well, that's perfect. This is a 7-bedroom house. So everything should work out good. Porsha says she likes the house, but it doesn't compare to the one in Costa Rica. Girl, they flashed to the house in Costa Rica. That crap looked like a whole all-inclusive resort for 100 people to stay at. She want her house on that level. And I'm like, girl, you live in Atlanta, not Miami, okay? I'm not saying you can't have a beautiful house. Barty got a wonderful house in the A. But what I am saying is, let's be realistic here. You ain't on no water with no palm trees and no beaches. Now, you can buy them, but you ain't just about to walk into nothing like that. Simon says he has 5 kids and a few divorces. Well, that makes sense. Typically, established men, not of all races, they make their rounds. Let's just leave it there. So, I mean, I wasn't surprised by that. I mean, shit, you was engaged to Porsha before you could even tell Phelan that y'all was over. So, that makes sense. I guess you what wife number 4? That makes sense, girl. I would be number 5, 6, 7, and 8. I wouldn't care because you stand to do nothing but win. I'm sorry. Stop call it a gold digger, women or hypergamous. I don't care. If I had the chance to marry a millionaire, I don't care if he was married 12 times before me. I would be 13, and I don't have a problem with him going on to be 14. Fine, baby. Just give me my coin and what I got with while I was with you. That's all I need. Period. Cool. Simon mentioning having 5 kids. Porsha was like, well, what about the other kids in your balls? I'm like, this girl is so hood and ignorant sometimes. She goes into talking about nobody has ever gotten her to move from Duluth, and they play her history of how she was married to Cordell, dog ass. And how he was, how he divorced her and like basically left her stranded, and how she bought her first house and she glowed up, and she didn't think she would be able to leave from there because that was basically her starting point. But at the end of the day, you have to start somewhere, you have to finish somewhere else. You don't always finish where you start. Is where I'm going with it. She goes on to say that she basically had her life set up to where she just wanted to pick up a man and drop him off at her crib. Like, just literally, hey, you come over here. Now, I had a problem with that because you saying you trying to take care of a man, and I ain't trying to do all that. I preach for not taking care of no man. I'm sorry. You fall on hard times and we were doing something different, meaning everything was working out perfectly fine before. That's one thing when you fall on hard times. But I am not mothering another man, another child. Won't do it. Can't stop. Won't do it. Period. So basically, Simon, as being the man that he is, and that we don't have to use the term loosely here. Now, he might be a dog. He might not be worth the dime when it comes to the women. But when it comes to being a man, it exudes. Simon said, "Well, you can't do that with me. You're not picking me up and dropping me off into no house. Period. Like, I come with my own. Like, that's not what we doing. And that's the type of man that I like." Simon also said, not to mention that somebody else already lived there, talking about Dennis. He was like, so yeah, I'm not really trying to do all that and be there. Porsha asked him about being uncomfortable. He said, just like you're uncomfortable at my crib. That's why we buying a new crib. I'm not trying to be up in the house where another man laid his head. That's that man. You want to talk about masculinity? That to me speaks masculinity. He don't want to be in another man's territory. Dennis pulled up to pick up Pilar to go see Pilar at Miss Diane's house. Miss Diane is Porsha's mom. First of all, shout out to Miss Diane. That is a bad woman. Ooh, that lady's so fine. I wish to be like her when I'm 63 or however old she is. Mama says, Miss Diane says that she still has a great relationship with Dennis, even though Dennis doesn't have the same relationship with Porsha, that they still have a working, relationship as, mother-in-law to son-in-law as far as dealing with Pilar. He gets in there, Pilar runs up to him asking him for ice cream. She is so cute. She is such a cutie. And he asks where Porsha, and in my mind, I'm like, why you worried about Porsha? But he like, where Porsha at? And the mama was just like, oh, child, they around there, she was out there with, what's his name, what's her husband's name? Simon. She's over there with Simon. I don't know exactly where they at. He basically said she moved fast. He gave us the timeline. They broke up in July 2020. They had matching pajamas for Christmas of 2020, and she asked for the ring back, like literally all within the same week or so. He basically says that next thing you know, she didn't like the answer that he gave her as far as them wanting the ring back or her getting the ring back. He said she was engaged 5 months later. Now look, I ain't even gonna lie. Shout out to Porsha. What's she supposed to do? Cry? Baby, I want to be Porsha. I don't want to take nobody's husband, but I do want to be able to move around and bounce back like that. Like, ain't nothing wrong with that. Men do it. I don't see the big deal. So, but I feel like Dennis and his feelings about that. I really do. Because why would you even bring that up? Porsha talked about inviting Dennis to the party, but she said he can't bring a date. So Porsha's sitting there with Dennis in that house, and as they're discussing other things, and says, look, I invited Dennis to come to the birthday party, but I told him he can't bring a date. Why, Porsha? Why can't he bring a date? You there with your man, your fiance. Why does it matter if he doesn't bring a date? Dennis is in turn having the same conversation with the mama, because the mama was like, you coming to the party? Like, is you gonna be there? And he was just like, no, because she said I can't bring a date. The mama says, well, I mean, I don't think that's right. And it's not right. Why are you trying to govern who he could bring to your party? Even Simon had to jump in and was just like, what's the big deal about him bringing a date? Like, who cares? Like, why do you care so much that he wants to bring a date? Dennis feels like she can dish it, but she can't take it. She want to be able to move on and parade somebody around me, but she don't want me to be able to do the same thing. She says, I don't want any old body around my daughter. Porsha, you just met this man 2 days ago and you engaged to him. What you mean you don't want any old body around your daughter, girl? Stop the cap. You can't get engaged in 3 days and expect for somebody else to really respect the fact that you don't want any old body around your daughter. Porsha, you doing the most now. We not about to do that. I'm calling you on your cap. Stop the cap. You still in love with Dennis. Hell, even Simon said, well, what is it? Like, you got some old trust issues or something? I don't think that's what Simon wanted to say. I think what Simon wanted to say was, you still love that nigga? Like, why do you care? Like, let them have a date. Like, it's not that big of a deal. That's basically what Simon was saying. Porsha's getting ready for her 40th birthday party. Now, this is Porsha's 40. Porsha looks damn good to be 40. She's basically saying that she doesn't regret anything that she's gone through. They played a clip, the package of her with Cordell divorcing her and leaving her destitute like he did. He wasn't worth a dime. And basically to where she is now, her glow up. She says everything basically prepared her to be where she is right now. And I'm with her on that. She has no regrets. The assistant asked her how she felt about going public with Simon. Basically, how do you feel about going to this birthday party and pulling up with your man that you already posted? In my mind, I'm like, why does she care? At this point, the damage is already done. This was posted months prior to. Bring that man to the party. I don't understand why it's a conversation. Porsha responds and says, you know, it's fine, but social media is brutal. They was telling me they wish I was dead. They was all kind of shit. And let me tell y'all out there in social media land, y'all take this stuff too personal. How do you be that butthurt about what another woman is doing with other men? Girl, if she saw that man, and let's just say she did everything she said she did, why do y'all gotta be getting like wishing death threats and all on? Y'all weird. Y'all are weird. So, I mean, I would have had to log out if I was her. I wouldn't have been able to do it. Lauren pulls up to the venue. Her cousin is who they hired to be the event coordinator. Basically, Lauren said, I facilitate, Simon paid for it. I know that's right. They start talking about the birthday post that Simon made. Simon posted 2 things, basically wishing Porsha a happy birthday. But in these posts, they were intimate moments, like her tattoo on her neck of his name. Then he posted, their first kiss, stuff like that. Porsha's excited, but she feels away. Porsha feels like, listen, I know you were being sweet in your sentiments, but we talked about this. I didn't want our personal things. I wanted some things to be private. But Porsha, you live in an age of reality TV and social media. You cannot believe that everything was going to stay private. And again, Simon has this attitude like he don't give a damn about none of that. He don't care. If he won't post, he won't post. He don't care what nobody said, and that's what it is. I like that he's confident like that, but he got to understand too, everybody's not. So I kind of got where Porsha was going with that. Girl, the mama pulled it up and said, Dennis already liked it. Now, Dennis, you being petty. What you liked it for? Lauren talks about Porsha posting, Lauren talks about Porsha posting this pic right here on Instagram with Dennis and Simon. And she basically says that, she thought it was odd that she would just post that so freely and the backlash that she got. And as they were talking, Simon walks up. Now, Lauren is immediately like stunned. Because she says she's never been around him without Porsha or the whole family. She said, hell, Porsha's still trying to get to know him. So being around him was a little awkward. I was like, well, damn. Like, that's got to be something else. He walks up and says that, asks how they were doing with everything. and said that he had dropped off some gifts. Some were conventional, some weren't. He bought her some $750 cologne or whatever it was. Miss Diane comes swooping in the room looking good as she always do. Porsha sitting on the bed in her feelings about Simon's post. Porsha, why? I don't even know why I'm gonna give this much light. I'm gonna just say this one last time. Porsha, let it go. The damage is already done. We already know you got that lady husband. Let it go. Nobody cares. If you gotta be more confident in it so everybody else can shut up about it. Period. That's just the way I feel. But she talking to Miss Diane and basically saying that it was okay at first, but she started thinking about it. And she feels like everybody's just gonna come down hard on her. Girl, they already doing that. That's just my opinion. She said she told them about it, and she mentioned it to him, and he said, "Look, I can't." She said, "I can't fake my reactions and my nonverbals, basically." So when I told him about it, I was just like, "Yo, like you tripping, bro? Like you putting this out there, and people gonna say stuff." And Simon was just like, "I don't give a damn. Like I don't care. Whatever they say is whatever they say. I don't care." Miss Diane said he got to pull back because he does. She said because you were basically affected, and they gave a hug or whatever. Okay, she was glad she was able to talk to Miss Diane. All right, this the night of the party. Porsha comes down in dress number 1. I liked it. The aunts is there and they drinking and saying it's shot o'clock. They taking shots. That's the type of aunties I like. That's the type of aunties I want to be. I want to be down there taking shots when my niece is turning up. Period. The dress number 2 is the baddest one. That's the sequence with the shoes and the person, but I'm gaudy like that. So I thought that was the best one. So she ends up leaving in dress number 2. They get on the bus. Simon pull up. Everybody on the bus, they like, oh, is Simon coming on the bus? They like, yeah. So girl, they popped some champagne, I believe it was, and I don't know if the cork hit the ceiling, but something fell from the ceiling. Porsha hollers, that's a lawsuit. I can't believe this. And they go, well, who was the bus for? Girl, apparently Dennis donated the bus. That was Dennis' bus. Now, how you gonna sue your own baby daddy, girl? First of all, and second of all, y'all got a threesome going on. I feel like it's capped. Y'all acting like y'all not okay with it, but it's giving a little freedom for me. I'm sorry. So, yes, Dennis donated the bus. They asked can he bring a date since he donated the bus. She said if he looked like a bus, he can bring a date if the girl looks like a bus. I'm just like, listen, I cannot. They arrived to the party. She loves the energy around the party. Drew Sidora shows up and give her a hug. It was like, girl, I've been going just a little bit time, and when them got engaged, and she was like, yes. And then she started showing her the ring, blinding Drew, and I'm pretty sure she did. I wouldn't have known, but I know I would have been blinded as well. She brings Drew over to introduce to Simon as if they hadn't met. You know the producers messy. They played the Housewives of Atlanta when y'all was all at the crib. When Phelan was trying to beat, what's that other girl name for saying that her husband was an old man? What are we doing here, people? What exactly are we doing? That's what I want to know. Drew tells Simon that, hey, as long as my girl is happy, I'm happy. Whatever y'all want to do, I'm on board. Now, that was funny because wasn't you calling the girl last season a Jezebel or whatever it was because she was, stop the cap, Drew. But, when it's your friends, it be different. So they turn up, girl. They having a party. They having a great time. As they drinking and toasting and all that stuff, Porsha decides to pull him to the side about these damn posts again. And I'm like, oh my God, if she don't shut up about these posts. She tells Simon, look, those were intimate moments. I didn't want to share those. I thought we talked about it, yada, yada, yada. Simon goes, yeah, I understand. I was wrong, but honestly, I don't feel like I should have to be quiet about professing my love for you. I get it. But he ended up apologizing and saying that he was wrong for that. And, he wished he hadn't done it, but yeah, I don't know. She felt like he needs to watch the stuff he posts. But Simon got back in the confessional and said, I don't give a goddamn about no social media. Let's move on. They pull up to the restaurant for a date day. Not a date night, but a date day. They mentioned, Porsha mentions that she checked the comments on that post that he put up, and it was actually a lot of positive vibes. And she was like, you were right. And he was just like, I told you, I know what I'm doing. So now she's okay with the post. She mentions that she styled him. He had on this like brown vest or whatever. It was cute. And he was like, thank you for styling me. They take a shot. He tell her he loved her, but she didn't respond. I caught that. He basically says he loves her being her. Well, she says he loves her being herself, and she's over there being quirky and goofy as she is. And she talked about how like other people try to control her, like Cordell, and he did. Simon talked about his granddaddy having 25 wives. Simon said in Nigerian culture, the women allow their men to have at least one other side chick. His granddaddy had 25 wives. His daddy had 2. He said the general consensus in Nigeria is that you have a husband, you allow him to have one side chick, y'all come together and make sure no other side chicks come. Call me forward thinking, I get it. Listen, don't debate me, debate your mom. A lot of y'all out here know y'all man got side chicks and y'all acting like it ain't real. At least get with her so y'all can close the doors, the side chick doors. Period. But Porsha was like, yeah, I feel you, but I ain't with all that. I'm not doing that. You'll do whatever he says because he's making the money. She asked him has he ever cheated. He said, yeah, everybody's cheated. I've cheated many times, but just not in my last relationship. He said, I wanted to break that cycle. That's why I did something different with Phelan. Phelan was the one who cheated, allegedly. So she says that's what drives Dennis. You know, he want to break the cycle of the relationship between him, his father. He wants to make something different between him and Pilar. And in my mind, I was like, that is awkward. He didn't even ask about Dennis. Why are you bringing up Dennis? Maybe it was the editing, but talking about that's what you was attracted to. That man don't want to hear that. He don't want to hear that. I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to hear it either. So this goes into her saying that she wants them to have a conversation. Dennis and Simon. Simon goes, listen, if it weren't for Porsha, I wouldn't even know what to say to this dude. We don't have nothing in common. I don't even know what I would talk to this dude about. Like, to be completely honest. It's just not, he really not my cup of tea. Basically, Simon said, I'm up here and this dude way down here. But I believe in inclusions, and for Porsha, I'll have a conversation, but that ain't what I'm trying to do. Let's move on. Cousin Lonnie, that's the person who did the event decorating. She showed up to Porsha's house, and they having a barbecue over there. Again, I guess Porsha didn't know the barbecue was at her crib, so everybody started dropping all the stuff off. Girl, they had liquor everywhere. And I was just like, oh, I wish I was invited to that party. They go look outside to check out the tent, and they start talking about who was coming. Porsha's cousin says, oh, Dennis and his date is coming. And she goes, no, he's not coming with no date. So now, Lauren, no, I'm sorry, but let me back up. She says that she heard that Dennis has been hitting up Lauren more often. And she thought that was odd or weird or whatever the case may be. Now, we flip to the next scene, and this is all happening simultaneously. Lauren goes to meet up with Dennis at the hot dog factory, if that's the name of it. I can't remember the name of it. But they sit down, and he was just like, man, I ain't heard from you in a minute. Where you been? I know I seen you been traveling. Lauren was just like, yeah, I've been a couple places now. She says, I even just went to the engagement, and that brought up a whole nother thing. Now, these are 2 conversations happening at one time. Lauren and Dennis, and then Porsha and her cousin Lonnie. I believe that's her name. Lonnie, yes. Dennis says that Lauren is his little sis. Yeah, okay, I don't really like those terms, but whatever. Lauren asked Dennis, what's the issue? Like, what is the real issue? Like, she can't just like him? Like, what's the big deal? Basically, Dennis said, I ain't saying she a gold digger, but she ain't messing with no broke nigga. Look, I got a baby by her. If I was broke, I would not have been able to get her pregnant. Now look, when you're right, you're right. And ain't nothing wrong with that. What's wrong is with us out here procreating with men who can't do nothing for us. That's what's wrong. I'm with Dennis on that. Like he said, she don't mess with nobody that's broke. So is it the money he might be breaking her back in? But I doubt it. I feel like it's the coin on the line. That's what Dennis says. Porsha and Lonnie is still talking at this time. Oh, let me back up. Dennis says she looks like the man stealer of the century. Ooh, I was just like, God, no. He was just like, it just doesn't look good. Basically, like, it's not adding up. And he said, shit, she might go into the Hall of Fame talking about man stealer of the century. He was like, you should have stopped her. The cousin is talking to Porsha, and they talked about the Mother's Day dinner. Now, that's where this photo was taken. And she says that Dennis planned this, but didn't know that this was going to happen in the engagement and all that stuff. The cousin says, do you think if Dennis known that y'all would have been engaged, he would have kept planning it or, continued to plan it? And she goes, hell no. Girl, they flipped back to Dennis. Dennis was like, man, she told me she was engaged on Friday morning. That was the day of the party. I would have never planned that shit if I knew that. Look, I don't blame you, Dennis. Let him plan it. I don't blame you, Dennis. But they talk about the pics. And basically Porsha said, we all agreed on this pic. We all agreed to take the pic. We all agreed that it was okay to post it. I didn't understand what was the problem. Dennis responds and says, yeah, I did agree, but I didn't think it'll break the internet. Well, child, it broke it like a mug. Dennis said he didn't think it was real until he saw the tattoo. So that was their thing. Dennis and Porsha got their matching tattoos, got each other's name or whatever, although Dennis got 85 other women names on him. Porsha's catching up because she's now got Simon's name on her. He felt like that was our thing. You went and did that. That's when I knew it was real. Girl, that little bitty ass tattoo on the back of her neck, child, she can get that covered up with a cherry and be just fine. It ain't that big of a deal. Ink isn't permanent. I know they tell you it is, but it ain't. With 2021 and technology, it's just not. Getting a tattoo ain't nothing at this point. Dennis tell Lauren basically y'all and y'all whole family looking crazy. Lauren asks him if he's coming to the cookout. He says no because I can't bring a date. He says I feel like she don't want to let me bring a date because she still love me. Dennis, I believe you. There's no other reason why she wouldn't allow you to bring a date. She's definitely still in love with you. They flip to Porsha. Porsha says she has no romantic feelings for Dennis. I believe it. I don't believe it. I'm sorry. I'm calling cap. The cousins say both of y'all delusional. And I'm with the cousin. They are delusional because they both still want to be with each other. I don't know what this is, but it's just y'all delusional. Dennis tells Lauren, you got to make sure everything is cool. I know Porsha. I went through it with, myself with her. Porsha likes to like crash and burn. Like she goes really, really fast and then she literally like falls off the cliff. You got to make sure she's all right. You need to go and shake her and make sure that she knows, hey, look, make sure you're doing the right thing. He was just like, please make sure she doesn't get her heart hurt because she'll be devastated. And in that moment, I was like, maybe he does want the best for Porsha. I believe he does. Do I believe he will go back to Porsha? Absolutely, because they're both toxic. But I believe he do genuinely wants the best for Porsha. This was season 1, episode 1. I thought it was cute. I think we're kind of getting into the backstory first, and then we're going to figure out what the hell going on with everything else as we move on. Drop down in the comments and let me know what y'all thought about this episode. I thought it was cool. I'm looking forward to reviewing the rest of it and seeing what else is going to come of it. But y'all, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I will see you all later. Bye.